a place that is supposed to be the safest haven, yet they have been the scenes of some of the worst tragedies in history. Welcome back. Without further ado, today we are opening the files on 7 of the most shocking school crimes and incidents, ranked from least to most devastating. Case 1. The Notebook of Terror, USA, 2010. In August 2010, police raided the room of 16-year-old Jared Cano. Inside, they found scattered bomb-making materials and a chilling notebook. Previously, Jared had been expelled from Freedom High School in Florida for fighting. Fueled by resentment, he drafted a terrorist plot: return to the school, murder the staff and students, and detonate homemade bombs to level the entire campus. Fortunately, Jared had bragged about this master plan to a friend. That friend immediately tipped off the police. The bloody plot was crushed before it even began. Jared Cano received a 15-year prison sentence and has since actively worked to rehabilitate himself behind bars. Case 2. Wade Steffi's Fatal Wrong Turn, USA, 2007. In January 2007, 19-year-old Purdue University student Wade Steffi mysteriously vanished after a night of heavy drinking. Police and hundreds of volunteers scoured the campus but only found a single shoe. 2 months later, a maintenance worker investigating a buzzing electrical sound at the dormitory's high-voltage vault made a grim discovery: Wade's body. What exactly happened? That night, Wade returned to retrieve a forgotten jacket. In his drunken state, he spotted an unlocked door slightly below ground level. Thinking it was a shortcut inside, he climbed the fence. In the pitch black, he accidentally slipped a finger into an opening on a high-voltage transformer and was instantly electrocuted. A deeply tragic accident. Case 3. A Fatal Obsession, Malaysia, 2015. A quiet student at Bandar Utama High School secretly admired his classmate, Yap Xing Xuen, and often observed her from afar, documenting moments of school life through his camera. After days of trailing her, he finally confessed his feelings but was rejected. Unable to accept the truth, the next day, he lured her into the girls' restroom under the guise of an important conversation. Once inside, he pulled out a knife and fatally stabbed her. The student then calmly walked down the hallway, knife in hand, terrifying the entire school, before being subdued by 2 teachers. His backpack was found full of different knives. As for Xing Xuen, she tragically did not survive. Case 4. The Deadly Suitcase, USA, 1959. In 1959, Texas, 49-year-old Paul Orgeron, an ex-con with a history of bomb-making, took his young son to Edgar Allan Poe Elementary School to enroll him. Because he lacked a birth certificate and medical records, the principal turned them away. Furious, Paul took his son home, only to return to the school shortly after with a suitcase. He didn't go to the office. Instead, he walked straight onto the playground, calling a teacher and a crowd of children over. He mumbled bizarre phrases and handed the teacher an illegible note. Noticing a switch on the suitcase, the teacher screamed for the children to run, but it was too late. Paul pressed the trigger, detonating the massive bomb inside. The blast ripped through the playground, claiming the lives of Paul, his son, a teacher, a custodian, and 2 innocent students. Case 5. Revenge on the Past, China, 2018. Zhao Ziwei had a miserable childhood at Miji Middle School, where he was mercilessly bullied. As an adult, his life was equally bleak. 28, unemployed and isolating himself in his room playing video games. One day, walking past his old school, the dark memories flooded back, igniting a murderous rage. Zhao bought knives online. At exactly 6 p.m. on April 27, 2018, as students poured out of the gates and into a narrow alley, Zhao struck. He began wildly stabbing the children, complete strangers to him, simply because he hated the school. The savage attack resulted in the deaths of 9 students at the hospital. The killer, Zhao Ziwei, later paid for his crimes with the death penalty. Case 6. The Bath School Disaster, USA, 1927. This remains one of the deadliest school massacres in American history. Andrew Kehoe was an electrician, a farmer, and the treasurer of the Bath School Board. By 1926, Andrew was drowning in debt. His wife was severely ill, and his farm was facing foreclosure due to unpaid taxes. Ironically, those taxes had been raised to fund the Bath Consolidated School. In his financial despair, he blamed the school for ruining his life. Using his skills as the school's electrician, Andrew secretly packed the building's basement with dynamite. On the morning of May 18, 1927, he firebombed his own farm to distract emergency responders, then drove to the school. Moments later, the explosives under the school detonated, collapsing a wing of the building and crushing dozens of children. The nightmare didn't end there. When the school superintendent rushed over to Andrew's truck, Andrew detonated a shrapnel-filled bomb inside his vehicle. The horrific sequence of events killed 38 people, mostly children, the superintendent, and the monster himself. Case 7. The Beslan Hostage Crisis, Russia, 2004. The Beslan Tragedy. September 1, 2004, was Knowledge Day in Russia, a festive occasion where parents and students gathered for the opening ceremony. Suddenly, heavily armed militants stormed the campus, firing into the air and herding over 1,100 hostages into the school gymnasium. These terrorists, ordered by Chechen warlord Shamil Basayev, were seeking revenge for historical and political conflicts with Russia. Anyone who resisted was executed on the spot. The agonizing standoff lasted for 3 days. On the third day, massive explosions rocked the gymnasium, blowing a hole in the wall. As terrified hostages scrambled to escape, the militants opened fire on them. Russian special forces had no choice but to storm the building, sparking a brutal, bloody firefight right inside the school corridors. The aftermath was catastrophic. 334 people lost their lives, hundreds of them innocent children, on what was supposed to be their first day of school. The mastermind, Shamil Basayev, was killed 2 years later in a mysterious truck explosion. 7 events. 7 unforgettable tragedies. These stories serve as chilling reminders of school violence, psychological instability, and critical security flaws. Which case haunted you the most? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to join us for our next case file. Until next time, stay safe.